Hello everyone, Pastor Sheldon here to tell you a little bit more about what to expect when we return for worship this Sunday, April 11th, for our in-person in the sanctuary worship. This is an exciting day as it's something we've been waiting for over a year, but we should also remember that there are plenty of folks in our congregation who may not be comfortable or may not be able, for whatever reason, to make it to worship in the sanctuary. We will continue to stream our Sunday morning services, and worshiping from home remains an excellent option. We've recently upgraded some of our streaming equipment, and in all of our worship planning, we are doing our best to make sure that we can make that at-home worship experience feel meaningful and that you feel connected to what's happening here in the sanctuary. If you are not fully vaccinated yet, or are in a high-risk category, or just aren't ready to come back to worship in the sanctuary for any reason whatsoever, that's okay. We want you to feel comfortable doing what works best for you and your family. So, what will worship look like for those who come in person? First, masks, of course, are required. We ask that you bring a mask with you from home. If you forget your mask, we will have some disposable masks on hand that we'd be happy to give to you. Just ask one of our ushers. We'll also have several hand sanitizing stations throughout the building, so please make use of those. We have chairs strategically spaced out throughout the sanctuary to facilitate distancing. Reservations are not required for worship, but we do ask that you RSVP if you know you're coming, especially if you are in a family group of 3 or more. That will help us better facilitate spacing throughout the sanctuary to have things set up and ready for you when you get here on Sunday morning. There will be no assigned seating, but ushers will be on hand to assist you to help you find a place to sit. We are operating under a limited capacity of 60. We hope we never have to turn anyone away from worship, but the reality is when we're full, we're full. Please keep this in mind if you choose to come to the sanctuary, and please be patient with us if we do happen to reach capacity. All Sunday school classes will remain virtual for the time being. Sunday school will begin at 9:15 now instead of 9:30, and promptly at 10 so that you can have plenty of time if you choose to do Sunday school at home and then make it to the sanctuary in time for worship. Speaking of which, we would love for you to try to get to the sanctuary as early as possible so that we can have plenty of time for folks to find their seats without creating a logjam at the entrance in the narthex. The nursery will not be available at this time, though we hope to make it available soon. We just have some things to work out there. If you have young children, you are welcome to bring them with you to worship, and you're welcome to keep them with you in worship. If you're worried at all about your kids making noises, being a distraction or a disruption in worship, please don't be worried about that. There are a few things that should bring us more joy than the sounds of a sanctuary full of children. What a gift. We will continue to have children's messages in worship, some of which will happen live in the sanctuary, and some of which will be pre-recorded and played both here in the sanctuary and over our live stream. Children will be invited to come forward during that time. It's up to you whether they come or not. And during that time, we will ask that children space themselves accordingly, and we'll have some folks who are helping to do that. So that you can be close together with someone who is in your immediate family or your household, but to keep a little bit of distance between you and other children who come forward. We will not pass the offering plate, but we will have plates set up at the entrance of the sanctuary for you to leave your offering either as you enter or as you exit. And remember, online giving is the easiest way to give. If you would like help setting up an automatic online giving, please let us know. We'd be happy to help you with that. Music is, of course, one of the most important and meaningful aspects of worship. I know for me, music is one of the ways that I feel most connected to God in worship. We will have music, still provided by our amazing worship team. But in accordance with the most current research that we have available on singing, we will have very limited congregational singing at this time. We will have a cantor on site who will lead us in service music. We may have some pre-recorded special music that, again, will play in the sanctuary and on the live stream. And the congregation will be invited to sing the response to the benediction at the very end of the service, just before exiting the sanctuary. Once worship has ended, we ask you to immediately exit the sanctuary from the back of the sanctuary to the front. Once you are outside, of course, you are more than welcome to visit with one another for as long as you'd like, of course, remaining aware of social distancing and those kinds of things. This should cover most of the basics of in-person worship. If you have any other questions, please don't hesitate to reach out to us. Again, worshiping from home is still a great option, and we encourage you to do so. If you feel at all sick on a morning that you plan to come to worship, please stay home. This is an exciting time, but we also know there will be kinks for us to work out along the way. Thank you for your patience as we figure these things out and do our best to provide meaningful worship while keeping each other as safe as we possibly can. This is just the beginning of our transition. We will continue to consider what we might be adding in as we go along, but we need to make sure that we get this right and that we keep each other as safe as possible. I can't wait to see many of you in worship this Sunday and hopefully every Sunday after that. I'm very excited about this transition, and I'm so thankful to be serving in this place and to be among such a loving community. Grace and peace to you all.